Hey guys, welcome back. It's Maverick here today with another episode of Takt Opus Destiny. So, last episode, we got some major character development, I guess you could say, with Destiny finally being recognized as her own entity and not just sort of like a shadow or somebody inhibiting Cosette's body and whatnot. At the very least, she was recognized by Takt and Anna, and well, that's all great and all, right? But the story still continues on. Obviously, we still have 4 more episodes, I believe, including this one. So we're not at the end yet. I presume they're still going to be traveling up towards New York, maybe to figure out a little bit more information and about, how everything goes. By the way, last episode I was questioning, one of the reasons why they were going to New York was trying to get back Cosette, right, if there's any chance. But even without that, though, I think they need to do something about, Takt's connection with Destiny and how Destiny is literally killing Takt every time she uses her abilities. So with that in mind, I do believe we're going to continue on to New York, so let's get into the episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Okay. So Lenny... So in the last episode, I actually thought that Lenny was acting under orders from the Symphonica to protect Takt. But, as was revealed, it wasn't really the case. And by the way, Sagan, the Grand Maestro of the Symphonicas, even though he seems to be protective of Takt as of this point, I have the sneaking suspicion he's not entirely a good guy either. Or at the very least, he has alternative views as to what justice and what good actually is. Yep. All right. Hmm. But considering that we still see Cosette every time in the opening, that does make things still a little bit open for interpretation as to whether she can come back or not. Unless, of course, it's literally just a memento of her. Although, all things considered, I'm just wondering, right? Because the Symphonica actually appears in the actual, series or work, if you will, or this franchise, right? The entirety of this franchise. So they can't really make it into like, they can't just like completely dissolve or disband the organization at the end of this anime. Otherwise, the game, of course, which is coming out, is not gonna really make much sense. Oh, are we here? I do believe we are here in New York. All the skyscrapers and whatnot. They really paid a lot of attention to the details, right? Like the sign over there, a one-way sign. Very authentic. I mean, I'm sure they have lots of reference photos and whatnot. New York is such a iconic city. The suburbs, eh? Okay. Hmm.
すぐに受けられるのか？
Right. So that's the thing that's still remaining here.
そうだな。僕からも頼む。苦しいことはちゃんと見てみないと何とも言えないけど、じゃあ今から早速行きましょうか。ニューヨークシンフォニカへ。
I love how it's like I mentioned this before, but I love how the Symphonica is such an obvious play on symphony, right? The New York Symphony. It's spreading. Props to whoever caught that last episode. I believe one of the comments mentioned that part. An MRI, eh?
ドクター・シャルロッテ、一つ質問してもよろしいでしょうか？ロッテでいいわよ。何？では、ロッテ。コゼットは今、私のどこにいるのでしょうか？
Not there. Or there. That's the $1 million question, eh?
タクト、運命。私たちの現在の技術では、あなたたち二人の間に確立した契約を切り離すことはできないわ。ムジカートやコンダクターが覚醒を遂げるためには、アルファ様態と呼ばれる遺伝的な資質が。専門的な話がどうでもいいわね。運命はタクトの命を糧としなければ、ムジカートにもなれずに死んでいたでしょう。タクトの方もコンダクターになったことで運命からフィードバックを受けているの。ムジカートの戦闘に対応できるほど身体能力が向上したのはその結果ね。
Hmm. consuming each other. So that works towards Destiny's side as well? Hmm. I'm guessing as a music art. Well, no, actually. Well, hmm. I guess normal music arts probably can exist independently of whether or not there's a maestro or not, right? That we've seen that already, like the Valkyrie and whatnot. But for their case, I guess if Takt's life force does end up being completely consumed, Destiny can't actually survive either. So I guess this is also implying that Cosette is actually dead. I think he pulled an all-nighter though. Oh, lobster. Ice cream. Panini. Man, I'm getting hungry. Mm. Oh, nice. Man, you gotta admit though, Takt dresses quite stylishly, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, he is a handsome boy, but he also dresses quite nicely as well. And of course, as with all Japanese anime, we gotta have an aquarium scene, right? Alright, trying to put some alone time for them? It's a date! But with how things are going, I have no doubt this will end up in a situation where they're gonna need to fight, right? Who? It shouldn't be his father, right? Considering how much of a big shot his father was. ああ。What a pair of beautiful sisters. はい。Yeah, she does that as well. I was gonna make a joke how she not only fights, she also eats now, but... うん。I mean, you're doing a lot of things even without fighting, though. Which is what her namesake is based on. Although, does Destiny know that herself? Actually using Max. No, it's heaven. Mm-hmm. And here we go. D2's detected. That's a lot of things happening at the same time. He's like, I'm gonna fight as well. I am your fodder. Oh, never mind. Okay, well, it does involve someone's fodder, right? And, yep. Right where we're getting to the good part. Blah. So, hey! Kakama I was voicing one of the characters. Alright. So, I'll see you guys after this. Alright, so I actually think this episode is quite self-explanatory, so there's not too much else we need to comment on or talk about, right? Because, so we got through the checkup, and, well, Takt and Destiny's situation is getting worse and worse, but obviously them being the protagonist that they are, they still want to do something about the entire situation. Will there be some sort of, well, obviously, since this is more of a shonen style kind of franchise, I'm not really expecting them to actually eventually perish. I'm pretty sure that in the game, I'm not sure about Takt, but I'm pretty sure in the game, Destiny is one of the characters as well. So I don't really expect her, neither her nor Takt to actually fall or you know, sacrifice themselves at the end of all of this for you know, for the good of the world or whatnot. You know, it definitely would make things interesting, right? But I think it's rare enough to have that kind of situations, and even less so for a situation like this one where they're clearly trying to make a long-term franchise out of it. So they'll probably fight, and they'll probably still find a way at the very end to reverse the situation through some kind of method or another, and then things will be all right again, right? And at the end of this, obviously, the most important thing is the big reveal, or supposed reveal, of the Symphonica, and what is actually, you know, what exactly are their objectives, what they're trying to do, and whatnot. I don't really think this is a situation where, you know, they're just like purely evil or something of that sort. I think it's more a question of, you know, they have to do some things that must be done. It's more of that kind of situation, except that maybe they are going, they chose to do this kind of compromise or do these kinds of sacrifices way too easily and way too early, and obviously it's going to piss Takt and some others off, and maybe more so that kind of story, right? I highly doubt that this Symphonica is actually hell-bent on like world domination or world control or something of that sort, and maybe more so that maybe they are like the D2 situation is real, and you know, they need to do something to counteract it, but the method that they choose might not be the most morally how can I say, morally white or morally correct, let's just say. So I do suspect that we'll have that kind of situation going on instead. And as for the rest, not really too much else to talk about. Most, like, for half of this episode, it was basically just them going around and having some fun, right? Daily lives. I mean, not that I'm complaining. It was fun watching Takt being dragged off here and there, and yeah, and get to see the rest of the girls, have some R&R and have some few cute scenes and so on and so forth, right? I gotta say though, they really even though this series is quite showing quite well in terms of its animation and background art and all that, they really also put a lot of effort into making this more authentically New York, right? I'm sure they used a lot of reference materials when drawing a lot of the backgrounds or the shops and stores that they went to, or just the street and whatnot, the general vibe and feeling. So full props to them for that. I mean, I'm perhaps it's the same for all the other places as well, but I think for this one it's much more obvious because the New York here is actually in the correct state of things, right? It's not like rundown or old or anything. It's basically as we know of New York as of right now, right this moment, right? So it's easier to see the similarities and all the references there instead. And yeah, not really too much else to say at this point. I mean, we don't. I guess we'll have a lot more to discuss in the next episode once Lenny spills the beans and whatnot, and we also get to see like what exactly they are trying to do about the situation and how exactly that puts them at odds with the Symphonica. So let's just cut this particular musing short for this episode, and well, I will see you guys next time. Stay tuned and bye bye.